So we can read probably the most important mantra in the Nectar of Devotion. That's right. And it goes as follows.
Nectar of Devotion?
Oh, Nectar of Instructions.
Okay. Which one? Oh, it's an instruction.
Verse 5 of the Nectar of Instruction.
No, okay. You just messed up. Which one is it again?
Verse 5.
5?
It's very important because many reasons, but specifically to meet ourselves and others where they're at. That's one of the really golden equations of how to do it, by ascertaining where are we on the path back home, back to Godhead. I think so, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Drishti yasya giri tammanasa driyata dikshati chat pratabhischa bhajatam isham shushrusya bhajana vigya manyana manya nindani shunya hirdama pashta sangalabhaya. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of the Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, diksha, and is engaged in worshiping the deity. And one should associate and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service, and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Oh, this is where it comes from. This is my favorite definition. It's my favorite definition of a saintly person.
Free from the propensity of criticizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. In order to intelligently apply the sixfold loving reciprocations mentioned in the previous verse, one must select the proper person with careful discrimination. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore advises that we should meet with the Vaishnavas in an appropriate way, according to their particular status, right? Like I was introducing this verse as meet ourselves and others where they are. So this is a formulation of where are others, where are we, and how to meet. So it's like right in the middle of the Nectar Instructions, and it's very, very important verse. In this verse, he tells us how to deal with these three types of devotees: the Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. The Kanishta Adhikari is a neophyte who has received the Harinam initiation from the spiritual master and is trying to chant the holy name of Krishna. This is very interesting. Prabhupada doesn't say he's chanting. He's trying to chant. So he's trying to chant. That's very good.
Well, I heard in a couple different places that you're not actually performing bhakti until you're like in the stage of maybe it's Nishta, I don't know, Ruchi or whatever it is.
Yeah, like Madhyam, yeah. I think it's explained as follows, but yeah, it's Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma Nasochati Nakanchati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhakti La Bhakti Param. When one is situated beyond this duality, hankering, desiring, when one is liberated, he actually starts Mad Bhakti La Bhakti Param. He renders devotional service. So yeah, until then we're just like playing around. You can say. Prabhupada, he just holds us by the hand, he let us go a little bit, we fall down, and then he catches us again.
Yeah.
A Madhyam Adhikari, no, I skipped a few lines. One should respect such a person within his mind as a Kanishta Vaishnav. A Madhyam Adhikari has received spiritual initiation from the spiritual master and has been fully engaged by him in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Madhyam Adhikari should be considered to be situated midway in devotional service. The Uttama Adhikari, or highest devotee, is one who is very advanced in devotional service, and Uttama Adhikari is not interested in blaspheming others. His heart is completely clean, and he has attained the realized state of unalloyed Krishna consciousness. According to Srila Rupa Goswami, the association and service of such a Mahabhagavat or perfect Vaishnav are most desirable. Now we're going to read further what is that Uttamadhikari, because there's a very important point that Uttamadhikari actually never exhibits himself as Uttamadhikari. He descends to the Madhyam. As soon as he interacts with worldly people, or as soon as he, like we call it, say in a professional Krishna conscious language, he preaches, he has to come to a lower stage externally in his devotional service. Why I'm saying externally? Because he has to make discrimination. Someone who is free from the propensity of criticizing, that's very good. We should all aspire to that. But that's, in terms of preaching, it's an impossible task when you preach. Preaching, Prabhupada says, preaching means criticism. You have to apply a discretion. Not that you indiscriminately criticize innocent people and you praise envious people. No, the Madhyamadhikari distinguishes between 5 types of personalities who are on the path on devotional service: the innocent, the envious, the devotee, the deity, God, and I forgot the 5th, because obviously I'm not a Madhikari. So anyways, I'm gonna check it later. But yeah, he distinguished. So Uttamadhikari, he has to come down and exhibit this Madhyamadhikari propensity. When someone is on the Madhyamadhikari, he's not preaching in one sense. In one sense, he's not preaching. His only preaching is he's preaching how to not to preach. So I think we're going to read about it further, but either way. Would you like to continue reading, Leah or Keith?
One should not remain on Kanishta. That's where we're at?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. One should not remain on Kanishta Adhikari. One who is situated on the lowest platform of devotional service and is interested only in worshipping the deity in the temple. Such a devotee is described in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. A person who is very faithfully engaged in the worship of the deity in the temple, but who does not know how to behave toward devotees or people in general, is called a Prakrita Bhakta, Kanishta Adhikari. One therefore has to raise himself from the position of Kanishta Adhikari to the platform of Madhyam Adhikari. The Madhyam Adhikari is described in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.46 in this way: Ishvara tad abhineshu balisheshu Madhyama. The Madhyama Adhikari is a devotee who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the highest object of love, makes friends with the Lord's devotees, and is merciful to the ignorant and avoids those who are envious by nature.
So that's 4 or 5. I guess it's maybe 4. He worships deity. He knows who is God. He's not like worshiping some stone or whatever. He worships God. He makes friendship with devotees. He recognizes devotees. And the 3rd, he merciful to the ignorant or innocent, and he avoids the ignorant. So I guess envious. He avoids the envious people. Like people that come and they blaspheme Krishna consciousness movement openly, especially in the temple. Like outside, if we do that outside, 99% of, not 90, but like, okay, let's say maybe in Israel, 90% of the time I won't be able to go out. But especially when someone comes to the temple and he blasphemes the deity or blasphemes our devotees, he avoids them. He's not like there to offer them consolidation and consulting and uplift them. Even Prabhupada, of course, he would very mercifully approach all people, but many times he would neglect people who, Prabhupada would call them their hopeless cases, people who openly blaspheme God. What can you do? So the temple actually is a structure. It's like why Prabhupada calls it in the Bhagavad Gita. It's in imperceptibly liberated structure to liberate ourselves, because it allows us to be Madhyamadikari in the temple. In the temple, all these 4 different varieties of personalities that the Madhyam by nature he is trained to distinguish. We see that without any hesitance. We immediately can sense someone is envious, someone is friendly. Someone who is friendly is gonna want to render some service to the deity. Someone who is envious, he's gonna do something against the deity or the atmosphere in the temple. He will try to sabotage, like Prabhupada in the 2nd canto. He mentions that there are devotees like ghosts that create disturbance in the temple, and their offerings are not accepted by Vishnu. It's in the 2nd canto. And why they're not accepted? Not because they're not pure. No, because they disturb the other devotees. In the temple. So temple is like a transparent, like Prabhupada is a transparent via media to Krishna, devotional service. So the temple is a transparent via media to us perceive others as where they are, where they're at. And we can to extend it, like we can extend that knowing, understanding where we are, where others at, by extending the temple consciousness. Like you go out, we want to do something for the temple out, like we're planning to do an outdoor Sankirtan together, right? So that's to extend the temple, breaks the walls, and we, can expand our Madhyamadikari, our liberated consciousness outside of the temple by simply contemplating how to bring people closer to Krishna. Ram Ram.
Let me see.
This is
the way to cultivate devotional service properly. Therefore, in this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami has advised us how to treat various devotees. We can see from practical experience that there is a difference between different types of Vaishnavas. The Prakrita Sahajiyas, those are the ones that Ramachandra likes.
That's Ramachandra himself.
Yeah.
Ora!
They don't go into the temples. They just stand outside of them and beg money for ladus.
Recording, Prabhu. Don't tell my secrets.
Yeah. Generally chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Yet they are attached to women, money, and intoxication.
In form of sugar candy.
What?
Intoxication in the form of sugar.
Yeah. Although such persons may chant the holy name of the Lord, they are not yet properly purified. Such people should be respected within one's mind, but their association should be avoided. Those who are innocent but simply carried away by bad association should be shown favor if they are eager to receive proper instruction from pure devotees. But those neophyte devotees who are actually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master and are seriously engaged in carrying out the orders of the spiritual master should be offered respectful obeisances.
Yeah, so these are all the Kanishta, different grades of Kanishta Adhikaris. Prabhupada starts from the Sajias, Prakita Sajias. They devotees, but they didn't really start their devotional process. They didn't take it seriously. So they not in a very safe, they're not in any position actually. Yes, Prabhu?
No, that's me. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate your vulnerability. Well, actually, a Sajya, he never thinks himself of a Sajya. He thinks himself as a very elevated devotee. And this is like a really interesting thing that we're going to dive in. I don't know if we're going to manage to read all the verse, but there's a really interesting parallel between how a Sajya or even a Kanishta, how he thinks and how he perceives devotional service in other devotees, and how a Uttama Adhikari perceives other devotees. Uttama Adhikari, he sees everyone as a devotee. He's not distinguishing. And a Prakita Sajya too, he has like a similar tendency. He wants to do that, but that's the thing. He wants to do it. He's not in the, like we say, the be do have paradigm. He wants to see everyone as a pure devotee. So he has to externally adjust his behavior to actually appeal that he has that consciousness. But they have a very similar, in a sense, like a perception. So they don't they don't consider themselves as like, I'm a Sajya or I'm a Uttama Adhikari. It's like, there are many parallels. It's kind of like the mode of ignorance and mode of goodness. In the mode of ignorance, there's like in mode of goodness, there's illumination, right? Knowledge, and that knowledge makes you feel good, right? So in ignorance too, there is like an illumination in a sense that makes you feel good, but it's ignorance. The ignorance just covers you and you feel good.
Yeah.
So
Like
the breakthrough is this madhyam or like a raja.
A little bit of knowledge. Get a little bit of a knowledge, at least to tell people I'm not that advanced, and then internally not be that advanced, right? You know.
Yeah. If a Sajya thinks that he's not advanced, he's not a Sajya. That's
externally I tell people that I'm not advanced, but internally I think that I'm very advanced.
Okay. That's like your internal feeling about.
I'm just
how you perceive yourself when you share that with people.
At least enough illumination to be able to put on a show, you know, like.
Yeah, you know that's the criteria for being advanced devotee, to say that you're not advanced. So you say that you're not advanced.
Exactly. Yeah.
We got it. We recorded. Everyone heard.
Yeah. I know the tricks.
Only the single word.
I'm a high level
You tricked your mind. You tricked your own mind.
Yeah.
So and then Prabhupada goes to the Kanishta Adhikari. The Kanishta Adhikari, he started the purification process, and there are intermediate stages when he accepts actually initiation from a bona fide spiritual master, and he's seriously engaged trying to carry on the orders of the spiritual master. So they're all neophyte devotees, but there are different gradations which we can pace ourselves at, see where we at, and see what we have to do to, not to degrade ourselves to, being a Sajya or materialistic fully. There are also different types of materialistic devotees. As a reference, we can mention Kapila Dev teachings to Devahuti. He mentions devotees that perform devotional service in mode of ignorance, in mode of passion, and mode of goodness, and like that. Would you like to continue reading?
I left it open for you. You want to read, or should I?
Yeah, sure. Actually, there was another thing, that eager to receive proper instructions. That's actually what I want to highlight, that he is eager to receive. Here, what is that? Those who are innocent, but simply carried out by bad association, should be shown favor if they are eager to receive proper instruction. Because it's very important. Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, these instructions should not be revealed to people who are not austere, people who are not submissive, people who are not this, not that. And I mean, practically, it's me, it's all of us, most of us, whatever. So what is the balance of like where I can find that innocent people? Like all the innocent people are like that, especially in Kali Yuga. They're not austere, they're not submissive. But this is the balance, that they're eager to receive instruction. And Prabhupada specifically mentioned someone who asks questions. Someone who asks questions. So someone who asks us a question, that's the best identification that he's eager to receive some instruction. Of course, we should not be eager to give him instructions right away, but we should sort of ignite that propensity that he is actually innocent by some bad association. He is misled in his devotional service, but now he wants to understand at least something. So we should be eager to give him some either guidance or give him good association, first of all, not guidance, not instruction, but good association. Just like Krishna, he went with Arjuna to the battlefield. He was not interested of giving him guidance. He is his friend. He wanted to be with him there. So, and he stayed. Why? Because he was eager to receive some instructions. In this Krishna consciousness movement, a chance is given to everyone without discrimination of caste, creed, or color. Everyone is invited to join this movement, sit with us, take prasad, and hear about Krishna. when we see that someone is actually interested in Krishna consciousness and wants to be initiated, this is still very, very significant. He wants to be initiated. Like, it's actually in the 4th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it's considered to be a materialistic in duty or engagement to broadcast, hey, Prabhu, Bhakta, I don't know, this or that, my Guru Maharaj is coming, won't you take initiation too? This is not anyone's duty or business. It's everyone's personal responsibility to feel initiated, to take initiative, to get initiated. So this is just something I remember from the 1st canto, because it's not like a business or a fashion. Prabhupada, in one of the pictures, you have the physical book actually. So if you look at one of the pictures, in the description to the picture where Lord Chaitanya sits underneath the tree, Prabhupada mentions that accepting a spiritual master is not a matter of fashion. It's not like advertisement, or I'm gonna now say, oh, Guru Maharaj is coming, won't you? He's very good. He's so beautiful and strong, and he's gonna take you back home. No, this is not devotional service. So he's eager to get initiated. He wants to be initiated. We accept him as a disciple for chanting of the holy name of the Lord. When a neophyte devotee is actually initiated, that's really cool. When a neophyte devotee is actually initiated, it seems that there is a distinction between getting the initiation and actually being initiated, and engaged in devotional service by the orders of the spiritual master, he should be accepted immediately as a bona fide Vaishnava, and obeisances should be offered unto him, and ladus should be given to him, and gulab jamuns. Just kidding. It's not there. Out of many such Vaishnavas, one may be found to be very seriously engaged in service of the Lord and strictly following the regulative principles, chanting the prescribed number of rounds of japa beads, and always thinking how to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. And now get ready. This is like a complete blow up of like standards of, our, whatever. But Prabhupada says, such a Vaishnava should be accepted as an Uttama Adhikari. Uttama Adhikari. A highly advanced devotee, and his association should be always taught. What is the criteria again? It seems like not that high from when we read it once. Out of many such Vaishnavas, one who is found to be very seriously engaged in devotional in service of the Lord and strictly following the regulative principles, chanting the prescribed number of rounds on japa beads, and always thinking how to expand the Krishna consciousness movement, such a Vaishnava should be accepted as an Uttama Adhikari. A highly advanced devotee, and his association should always be sought. So it's like kind of wild, right? Because anyone who takes, like, you took your initiation, you chanted your rounds today, you think, okay, I'm going to go visit my parents who live on the other side of the world and preach to them Krishna consciousness, and what? I'm an Uttama Adhikari? Right? It's kind of pumping us up here, Prabhupada. You say?
The young guy in the temple that I was living with the first year I was there.
You're quoting that?
No, he's like that. He's like this. Now he's initiated. He was pretty serious even before he was initiated. Now, yeah, he takes it takes all of it, the principles very seriously. And I think it's simply a matter of time before he's it said Uttama Adhikari or Madhyam Adhikari?
Look, you have the book too, no?
See. Uttama? Oh, okay. Yeah. It's probably it's just a matter of time before.
It's a typo. Maybe it's a change in the book.
Yeah.
That's right.
I can see that's in the cards form.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Prabhupada, from my understanding, Prabhupada, he gives, first of all, he pushes up to be, it's not that we are, but he pushes up to be that Uttama Adhikari. And second of all, it's a safety net for unnecessarily criticizing devotees and unnecessarily creating havoc. Actually, the whole initiation system, here I have this golden quote, like, why at all there was, no, that's like deity worship. so it's not exactly related, but it is connected in a sense, because initiation is deity worship. It's very much related to deity worship. Like, you know yourself, if you lived in a temple, they're right, they have like a system in most of the temples. If you this initiated, you can do this. If you second initiation, you can do that. If you this, you do that. So it's deity worship essentially. And why deity worship was introduced, here I'm going to read to you. I'm going to find this quote and read to you. It was introduced in Dvapara Yuga for a specific reason. I read that quote in a video that I made.
Well, and the fact that I heard that too, the fact that we have deities in Kali Yuga is some sort of special special allowance or something like that, special mercy, right? Did you hear that quote? Prabhupada said it. I'm pretty sure I heard it.
Allowance.
Because really, it's not. I think something like he has brought sannyasis. Like they're not. It's not supposed to be a bona fide thing in Kali Yuga.
Deity, yeah, it's not like the protest, but I mean, yeah, we can worship the deity. And I have a quote that explains why deity worship was introduced in general. And it was introduced between Dvapara and Treta Yuga, because before that they would just do dhyana yoga, they would do meditation. There were no temples. And I'm trying to find deity worship. Maybe this one from Prahlad Maharaj. Archanam. No, this is a different. Let me try to search again. Okay, I'll paraphrase and message you that later. Basically, what happened in Treta, which one? I'm always forgetting which one is first. Satya, Treta, Dvapara? Yeah. So after, let's say it's Treta, you can say in the comments that I'm wrong after. So after Treta Yuga, what happened in the junction? The neophyte devotees started to offend each other. And that's what Krishna hates the most. I mean, we can offend Krishna and Krishna forgives or not, but he will certainly never forgive if we offend devotees. So to retaliate that, Krishna introduced Archanam. He had to introduce deity worship. And this is what I get from this paragraph. Like why Prabhupada wants us to accept even someone who just took initiation as Uttama Adhikari. So we have the safety net of mutual respect. If we respect, our godbrothers as our spiritual master, then when we actually try to respect our spiritual master, we're gonna actually respect him. And then when we want to respect Krishna because we respect the spiritual master, then too, it's like a big safety net that is rectifying this, propensity to, criticize and put stumbling blocks to each other. So this is kind of how I see this. Is maybe just, I don't know, my speculation or whatever, but I can send you the quote about the deity worship and we can reconcile that later.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess also I'm not that advanced of a person, but
again, you're doing that.
People.
No, you cannot say that anymore.
I don't
We
have.
know who you are, Prabhu.
I don't feel devotion. It's not a joke. Sometimes I do. It's not a show.
Okay.
Maybe I just have myself convinced that I don't have any. It's like, we'll see. Time will tell. But yeah, so I've met some people who I feel are very advanced, and I actually just naturally have respect for them. You know, like I would never treat these people the same way that I treat other people. You know, it just so yeah, I kind of get what it means in that sense. I don't know if there's another that's
natural respect to them, so you don't see yourself offending them even.
I've tried to meditate on this. I've given some little bit of mental effort to it, but it's even a little hard to even want to apply it. But I can see like Bada Haridas or Vaisheshika or even Dear Govinda is obviously quite advanced, you know. So or
what even from?
What?
Why do you say even? Just kidding.
Even?
Of course, Dear Govinda.
Yeah, I said.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I just say him because we're living with him. It's just
oh, you over familiar. Oh.
Yeah.
No. It's okay. I'm just kidding. Just dissing you from.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to treat them the same way that I do. I see them differently from other people.
Naturally, yeah.
Yeah, it's just something that naturally happens because of the quality of who they are, you know. Yeah.
So why not to expand it, right? I feel that's what Prabhupada kind of challenges us with this stretch. Like, what? Someone who just like chanted the 16 rounds today, you should be accepted by me? By me? As I should respect him as Shira Prabhupada or as some Uttama, by me, I should respect, you know?
I still catch him chewing on his fingernails and picking his nose and stuff. How can I respect him the same as them?
Yeah, it's not saying he cannot chew his fingernails. It's true. Yeah, very good.
He's still picking out on ladus all the time. How can I give him that, you know?
I'm glad you're siding with me there. Yeah, I'm glad you're siding with me on the desire to stretch myself to.
Yeah.
What wants us to feel in devotee association.
Yeah.
The process by which a devotee becomes attached to Krishna described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Diksha kale bhakta kare atma samprana che kale Krishna tare kare atma sama. At the time of initiation, when a devotee fully surrenders to the service of the Lord, Krishna accepts him to be as good as he himself. Diksha, or spiritual initiation, is explained in the Bhakti Sandarbha by Sri Jiva Goswami. Divyam Gyanam Yato Dayat Dadyat Kuryat Prapashya Sankasham Tasma Dikshati Shaprokta Dikshistatva Kovida. By Diksha, one gradually becomes disinterested in material enjoyment and gradually becomes interested in spiritual life. Yeah, so it sounds to me like if we go back to like what does it mean that he becomes an Uttama Adhikari after initiation, after Diksha. I don't take that initiation as just merely throwing the banana in the fire and opa, voila, you're Uttama Adhikari. But like these two very important quotes, at the time of initiation, when one fully surrenders, you know, like that's a pretty high stage. To fully surrender. It's like, Krishna, take charge of me. No more eating. No, it's not that we no more eat, no more even have sex, or no more sleep. No, Krishna, he takes charge of our sex life. He takes charge of our eating. He takes charge of our defending propensity. Like Prithu Maharaj, a great example. Prithu Maharaj, Krishna took charge and told him, now you go and you enjoy family life with 100 women. So it's a matter of to fully surrender, and that, like Jiva Goswami specifies, it's a gradual process of disinterest in material enjoyment.
Yeah, so somebody is fully surrendered to that process, and they just haven't all those so that the interest may still be there, but they're committed on that process, and in time they'll make it. So he's saying to consider them as basically, in one sense, being there already.
There is an interesting point that perhaps relates to that. Gopal Krishna asks, Gopal Krishna asks about should we be Shiksha Gurus? And Prabhupada, because what is a Shiksha Guru? He's sort of like, he's supposed to be like a liberated. Shiksha Guru means that he is on the Madhyam platform, like shastrically wise. I mean, everyone can be a Shiksha Guru, but really Shiksha Guru means that his instructions are infallible. Like he knows, he at least not going to concoct some instruction. Maybe, the instruction is not applicable, but whatever. But the instruction he gives is backed up by Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu. And that's like maybe somewhat it relates to like respecting someone on the high platform. But that there's a conversation on that. I'm going to share the screen. And Gopal Krishna, he asks Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, I'm just trying to clarify, I don't want to offend anyone, but no disciple of yours should call himself Diksha or Shiksha, or even Diksha is here. Wow, that's heavy. Anyways, let's avoid politics for the time being. Am I right, Prabhupada? Well, everyone is engaged to become a Shiksha Guru, but one should become perfect. The attempt is, what is it? Why is it called probation? When probationer period is finished, then he is naturally, automatically bona fide Guru. Not in the probation period. That is immature attempt. That will be failure. Amara Agyana, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, by my order. So all my disciples are accepted to become Shiksha Gurus. Prabhupada doesn't even mention the word Diksha. He completely avoids that. My order, on my order. Not by his own order. That is meaning I'm giving a sannyas. I'm sending you to different places. So this means that you have to carry out the order of the Guru very strictly. I think this is kind of the highlight of this. Very strictly, because seriously taking the instructions of the spiritual master, one should be accepted as a Uttamadhikari. This is very nice backup. Then you become mature. Otherwise, it will be artificial attempt, and that kind of guru will not help. Artificial attempt and that kind of guru will not help. So it even rhymes. I like how Prabhupada is poetic. But yeah, if you notice here, Prabhupada completely avoids even the addressing Diksha, because we know ourselves what is Diksha, what is Shiksha. Diksha, he takes you back to Godhead. So what to speak about that guru? Even the Shiksha Guru, he has to be forced on probation and accepted, authorized by Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada wants all of us to go and try it out. He's giving us this probation period. And we should never think I'm any guru. Prabhupada says actually Bhaktisiddhanta says that as soon as one thinks he's a guru, he's a dog. A guru never thinks he's a guru. Maybe for practicality's sake, like, when you have to say the formality, call a spade, but he would never consider himself, now I have disciples, or whatever.
Yeah. There's one, Devamrita Swami. He says when he first went to the temple, and he was wondering, should I join these people? I don't know. And then they were saying Guru Puja to Prabhupada on the Vyasasan, and then he asked somebody next to him. He said, "Why is he singing? Why is Prabhupada singing? He's the Guru." And he said, "Because he's singing to his Guru." And he said, "Oh yes, this is my Guru." Yeah.
Yeah, it's a common sense. Like humility, you can really sense how spiritual of a quality it is, because it's perceived by anyone, regardless of his spiritual, level or gradation. Even an animal, if you humble with an animal gonna let you pet you.
Yeah, definitely. That's the sense why. I get that same feeling from Radhanath Swami. He just offers everything to Prabhupada.
Okay.
That's why I'm going to get initiated by him.
Haribol!
Yeah.
Yes, this is the topmost humility ultimately, that you don't want to, but your Guru, he tells you go and do this work on my behalf.
Yeah.
To read a little bit more and sum it up, maybe just like a paragraph.
Where are we at exactly? One should not accept a spiritual master.
We have seen many practical.
We have seen many practical examples of this, especially in Europe and America. Many students who come to us from rich and respectable families quickly lose all interest in material enjoyment and become very eager to enter into spiritual life. Although they come from very wealthy families, many of them accept living conditions that are not very comfortable. Indeed, for Krishna's sake, they are prepared to accept any living condition as long as they can live in the temple and associate with the Vaishnavas. When one becomes so disinterested in material enjoyment, he becomes fit for initiation by the spiritual master.
Yeah, this is a very important criteria for initiation, because if you remember Nectar of Devotion, well, we didn't start reading from that portion, but Rupa Goswami says that in the beginning of sadhana bhakti, one has to be ready to accept things that he doesn't want to accept and reject things that he wants to accept.
Yeah.
We should be ready. We should be ready that the spiritual master tells us something that we don't like to do. We're going to have to do it, and we're going to have not to do things that we do like to do. So this is the, any condition.
My Atma Karaka is Venus. I'm in big trouble. Venus is the planet of sense enjoyment.
You're a little sense enjoyer there.
My Atma. Yeah.
I have in the first house in Libra rising. So
what is it?
I have Venus in the first house with Libra rising. So that's
oh yeah.
It's a very thick sense enjoyment propensity too there.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh, Libra's my ascendant too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Libra
ascendant brothers. Yeah. Some nutty game.
Peacocks are running.
But yeah.
Yeah, let's finish the paragraph and
okay. Don't mind me, I'm just being silly. For the advancement of spiritual life, Srimad Bhagavatam 6.1.13 prescribes tapasa. Yes, that one. He must be prepared to practice austerity, celibacy, and control of the mind and body. If one is so prepared and is desirous of receiving spiritual enlightenment, Divyam Gyan, he is fit for being initiated. Divyam Gyanam is technically called Tad Vigyan, or knowledge about the Supreme. Tad Vigyanartam, Sadgum Eva abhigachit. When one is interested in the transcendental subject matter of the absolute truth, he should be initiated. Such a person should approach a spiritual master in order to take Diksha. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.3.21 also prescribes Tasmad Gurum Padyate Yashu Shreya Uttamam. When one is actually interested in the transcendental science of the absolute truth, he should approach a spiritual master.
Prabhupada must approach a spiritual master. Tat gurum eva bigachet. Absolutely necessary to approach a spiritual master. Yeah, I think we can take a break here and continue tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
It's nice to go slowly in this mantra. It's a very, very important conclusive point in Rupa Goswami's teachings, and later he's going to be explaining how to recognize the different devotees, different grades, not for the sake of finding flaws with others, but reconciling ourselves to see where we at. It's a very, very important part.
Now I'm gonna be able to find out where you're at.
Yes.
With half of bhakti, I'm gonna be able to have you pay.
You're gonna expose me.
I'm gonna
Die.
take notes. Yeah.
Finally, I will be exposed, and my anarthas. I will have an opportunity to get rid of my anarthas.
Yeah. Yes, I'll come back when I come back.